Okay, so we're diving into manifestation and the law of attraction with ask and it is given.
A classic for sure. Esther and Jerry Hicks introducing us to the teachings of Abraham.
And wow, Esther's story of connecting with Abraham, what a journey.
Right. From fearing evil spirits to channeling, talk about a wild ride.
You're telling me it's all right there in the book, too. This fear stemmed from a pretty scary experience when she was younger. The Exorcist, can you believe it?
And years later, she's channeling a group of non-physical entities. I mean, what a turn of events.
The funny thing is she wasn't even looking for this connection at first, was she?
It was actually Jerry, her husband, always the spiritual one. He was the one who set up that meeting with the channeler, Sheila.
Esther wasn't exactly thrilled about it, though, from what I hear.
Not even close. The book actually says it was, and I quote, about the last thing on earth she wanted to do.
She sounds like a tough sell. But Jerry, on the other hand, was all in.
Oh yeah, he was fascinated. Spent days writing down every question he had had since childhood, getting ready for that meeting with Sheila.
So what changed Esther's mind?
Well, something shifted for her during that meeting. It wasn't just Sheila's voice. Esther felt this presence, something more.
Okay, that's already pretty wild.
Wait, there's more. So Sheila's spirit guide, Theo, actually told Esther that her guide would communicate with her directly.
Get out. No way, seriously.
Yes, and it gets even crazier. Later, at home, Esther felt this rush of energy in her hands. Get this, they just started typing on a keyboard.
Yeah.
She wasn't even consciously controlling them.
Okay, hold on. This is giving me chills. What did it say?
I am Abraham. I am your spiritual guide. I am here to work with you. I love you. We will write a book together.
Wow. Talk about an entrance. So I can see why she stuck with Abraham after that.
Right.
Okay, so who or what is Abraham exactly?
Good question. In the book, Abraham describes themselves as a group, a collective consciousness. They are non-physical entities channeled through Esther.
And their perspective ties into the law of attraction, right?
Yeah.
Which is what ask and it is given is all about.
Exactly. It all comes down to understanding that you, the listener, are a powerful creator, a powerful being.
We're not just along for the ride then.
Not at all. You are an extension of what Abraham calls source energy, pure, limitless creative potential. And you are constantly shaping your reality through your thoughts, your beliefs, even your emotions.
So we're really in the driver's seat.
Think of it like tuning a radio. You choose the frequency you want to broadcast, right?
Okay, I like that analogy. It makes it seem less, I don't know, out there. So if we're always broadcasting, what am I tuning my dial to then? What's the message?
Now that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's where Abraham's teachings come in. It's about being aware of your thoughts, beliefs, and especially your emotions, because those are your guidance system.
Okay, I'm listening.
Positive emotions, good sign. You're aligned with source energy and those desires you want to manifest. But negative emotions, those are telling you there's resistance, something's off.
So if I'm feeling good, I'm on the right track. If I'm feeling down, time to adjust my thinking. Like literally changing the channel on my radio.
Exactly, you've got it. It's about recognizing your own personal vibrational frequency, because you are always attracting something. The real question is, are you attracting what you want or what you don't want?
Okay, this is where I think a lot of people might get tripped up. What about all the bad stuff that happens? Are you saying that's our fault, that we attract those experiences?
It's a common misconception, and not what the law of attraction is about at all. There's no blame or guilt here, and it doesn't dismiss the very real pain and suffering that exists. It's not about controlling the world outside, but understanding that our internal world, our thoughts and feelings, have a direct impact on our reality. Even Esther, remember. She channeled Abraham, but she still had those fears from the Exorcist. We all have our own journeys and beliefs to navigate, and that's where Ask and It Is Given gives you some tools to use. The book lays out 22 different processes. They're designed to help you, really hone in on your desires and manifest them. Align with that source energy and let those desires flow into your reality.
22 processes. Okay, that sounds a little overwhelming. Where do we even start?
Well, let's go back to that radio analogy. Remember, it's not just about finding the right frequency. It's about recognizing that static, those beliefs and thoughts that are messing with your signal.
So how do we get rid of that static then?
The processes are a good place to start. One that I find really useful is what Abraham calls the rampage of appreciation.
Rampage of appreciation. I love it. Okay, tell me more.
It's about shifting your focus. Instead of looking at what you lack, you focus on what you have. Abraham says appreciating, that feeling of appreciation, is one of the strongest connections we have to source energy.
So instead of focusing on what's wrong, I should look for things to appreciate, even if they seem small.
Exactly. Even little things in your everyday life. A beautiful sunset, a delicious meal, a stranger being kind. Those might not seem like much, but when you appreciate those things, really feel grateful for them, it shifts your energy.
It's like training yourself to see the good, which attracts more good. Is that what you're saying?
Precisely.
Mm.
And it gets easier the more you do it. It's not about forcing yourself to be positive. It's about genuinely changing your perspective.
Okay, that makes sense. Is there another process you find helpful?
If you want something a little more, I don't know, hands-on, there's the magical creation box.
That one definitely caught my eye, so how does it work?
It's about taking something from your thoughts, from that intangible realm, and bringing it into the physical world. It's very simple. Find a box, a real one, not imaginary, and fill it up. Put pictures, objects, even descriptions of what you want to manifest.
So like a vision board, but in 3D.
Exactly. And physically placing those things in the box, it's symbolic. It's like saying to the universe, here's what I want. I trust you to deliver.
So then what? Just leave it be.
The key is to let go. You've made your request. Now trust the universe is working on it.
Trust the process, even if you don't know how it'll work out.
Exactly. And that's something you see in all 22 processes, actually. It's not about trying to manipulate the universe. It's about aligning yourself with its flow.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about positive thinking, but what about the negative thoughts, the ones that just pop up? How do we handle those?
Well, that's where pivoting comes in. The idea is to acknowledge those negative thoughts, but don't judge yourself for them. Then you consciously decide to shift your focus.
So if I'm spiraling into negative thinking, I can hit the brakes and choose to look at things differently. Find that more positive perspective.
You got it. For example, let's say you're stressed out about a deadline at work. Instead of dwelling on that stress, shift your focus. Think about the feeling of accomplishment you'll have when it's done.
Like hitting a reset button on your thoughts. You know, speaking of work, there's one process I'm really curious about, the wallet process. Tell me about that one.
Yes. That one's all about abundance, aligning your vibration with it, attracting it.
And who doesn't want a little more abundance? So do I just stuff affirmations in my wallet or what?
It's more than that. It's about really looking at your beliefs about money. How do you view it?
Interesting. How do I view money?
Right. Is it a source of stress? Opportunity? Do you believe there's enough for everyone, including yourself? These are important things to consider.
And those answers probably say a lot about our vibration when it comes to abundance, huh?
Absolutely. The wallet process asks you to visualize. Imagine having an abundance of money and really feel those feelings. Joy, freedom, security. It's about aligning your internal state with the reality you want to see.
Okay, I like that. So we've got the rampage of appreciation, the magical creation box, pivoting, and the wallet process. What other processes from the book stood out to you?
There's segment intending. It's about breaking your day into segments, and for each one, you set a specific intention. So for instance, maybe you want your morning to be productive. Okay, set that intention. Your afternoon, maybe that's for creative energy, and your evening is for relaxing and enjoying.
Like you're designing your day based on the experiences you want instead of letting it just, I don't know, happen.
Yes, exactly. And then there's, wouldn't it be nice if? With this one, it's all about dreaming big. Don't hold back, just tap into those desires.
No limits. I like the sound of that already.
It's about pushing past those limits, expanding how much you believe you can receive. Because often, we put restrictions on ourselves. We tell ourselves we don't deserve it, or it's not realistic.
So by letting ourselves dream big, we start to vibrate on that same frequency, the frequency of those desires.
Exactly. And remember, we've only talked about a few processes. There are 18 more in Ask and It Is Given. Each one has a different approach to help you manifest.
It's like Abraham gave us a giant toolbox to work with.
And the best part, you don't have to use every single tool to see results. Find one or two that resonate with you, that feel good, and see what happens. The key is finding what aligns you with that feeling of joy and well-being that Abraham emphasizes so much.
It's about finding the tools that help you tune your dial to the right station, the station of your dreams. You know, we've talked about a lot of tools and techniques for manifestation, but there's this one concept we touched on earlier that I'd love to unpack a little more. It's that idea that putting yourself first, your happiness, it's not selfish. It's actually a gift to others. It feels a bit radical, though, right? Like we're always told to put others first.
It's a powerful shift, for sure. And it gets right to the heart of ask and given. Because when you're aligned with that feeling of joy, that well-being, it radiates outward. You can't help but share that positive energy.
So it's not about ignoring other people's needs. It's more like you can't pour from an empty cup, right? You have to fill yourself up first.
Exactly. There's a line in the book that really stuck with me. Abraham says, Your happiness is the greatest gift you can give to those who love you. When you're happy, when you're aligned with source energy, you become this beacon of positivity. It's inspiring to those around you.
It's like that ripple effect. You throw a pebble in a pond, creates those waves, those expanding circles. Our happiness can be like that, touching others in ways we might not even realize.
Love that analogy, and it reminds us how interconnected we all are. Our energies are constantly interacting, influencing each other. So when you focus on feeling good, on your well-being, you're not just helping yourself, you're adding to this collective vibration. It becomes more positive and harmonious for everyone.
That makes a lot of sense. But let's get real for a second. What about when you're having a bad day? Like things aren't going your way, you're feeling anything but happy. How do you apply these principles then? It's not like you can just slap on a happy face and pretend.
Right, that's where those 22 processes come in. It's not about denying your feelings or pushing them down. It's about recognizing them, accepting them, and then making a conscious choice to shift your focus. Remember those emotions. Those are your guides.
So if I'm feeling down, time to tune my dial to a new station, right? Find a better frequency.
Exactly.
But how do I know where to tune it to?
Ask yourself, what makes you feel good? What brings you joy? Maybe it's nature or music or connecting with loved ones, even something creative.
So it's about finding those thoughts and activities that lift you up, raise your vibration.
Precisely. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's the simplest things. Taking a few deep breaths, noticing the beauty around you, even focusing on something you're grateful for, that can shift your energy.
Those little things can make a big difference. Those little nudges back to a better place.
And it's a journey, remember? Life isn't some straight path to happiness. There are going to be bumps in the road. The key is to keep your destination in mind. Those challenges, those are opportunities for growth, for expansion.
Time to adjust our course,
Yeah.
right? Recalibrate and keep moving forward.
Exactly. And that brings us right back to the heart of Ask and Is Given. You are a powerful creator. You can manifest the life of your dreams. But it starts with understanding how powerful your thoughts and beliefs and emotions are. It's about choosing to align those with the reality you want to see.
Becoming conscious creators of our lives, owning our energy, realizing that our happiness, it's not selfish, it's a gift. And that gift, it has a ripple effect, doesn't it?
It really does. Beautifully said.
Well, here we are at the end of our deep dive into Ask and It Is Given. It's given us a lot to think about, wouldn't you say?
It definitely has. And remember, this is just the beginning. Manifesting, it's a journey. And there's always something new to learn, something new to explore, something new to create.
If you're curious and want to learn more, pick up a copy of Ask and It Is Given and go on your own deep dive. Who knows what you might discover about yourself and the infinite possibilities out there.